Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for the City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, in which we are hopping right along to Transcendence Tier 4 Crucible 2. And for this I'm bringing along a party of Vaan, Setzer, and Trey, with the Brothers Summon for the maximum bravery. So in this one we are taking along we're not taking them anywhere, we're taking them out. A pair of lunatic Firion Scorpions straight out of Emperor's event. They're pretty much XPs from Emperor, and they do that whole thing where they kind of like charge up their tail laser and then they attack you. I mean, the enemies, come to think of it, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't these enemy types show up in... No, I may be wrong. I thought these enemy types showed up in Emperor's event before the actual Guard Scorpions showed up from Final Fantasy VII, but I might be wrong, because I think it was like in really early Chaos. I can't remember exactly when the Guard Scorpions came along, but anyway, that's the kind of enemies they are. And we have a LUFENIA orb that requires you to deal range damage. So that's why Trey is here, because he has this amazing knack of being able to deal off-turn damage, constantly through his skill 1 and his LD effect, so that is just going to keep the orb topped up. And of course we have Setzer here because the guy is basically a walking cheat code, and then we have Vaan to deal all the damages, and for the synergy stats, of course, from the burst weapon. So this is going to be pretty straightforward because we've got Setzer and Trey. I mean, there's no way it won't be freaking like easy. But rather than prattle on, let's just jump into it and get straight into the action. So thankfully these guys are not immune to freeze, so even though they have a tendency to occasionally like take back-to-back turns and they're going to battery themselves up before they use their laser attacks, if all goes well they are going to be spending most of the match, you know what I mean, fucking the game, like unable to actually do anything worthwhile on account of being frozen. So in fact that is pretty much what I'm going to be doing here. Sadly, in the opening turns, I am not able to get up the rainbow damage. Well, I am able to get it up, but I figure it would be best to throw the freeze on there first. You know what I mean? You know, it just seems like a good idea. And of course, I'm going to be using Kurasame's skill 1 call. I'm going to be spreading Kurasame out so that we can get the maximum uptime of the HP damage boost. Even though Trey over here starts off with his EX ready, we of course want to get up Firewall because we need that off-turn damage. And Vaan over here is just going to be going in with his white walls because these have the bravery refund effect, which does actually drop off significantly as the fight goes on. I've noticed that the brave gains just do eventually melt away into nothingness, which is something that you have to be watching for. Be a bit wary of that. So let's get up the dive bomb, the cheat code himself, and of course the rainbow numbers does work on Trey's skills, which is amazing. So I'm going to be going straight in with a raining arrows here. So yeah, after this, you'll get the follow-up from the LD, and you get the arrow shower, and we get rainbow numbers on everything, which is excellent. It's another thing that Setzer helps for. And I mean, I could go straight into the burst here, but I'm probably going to be waiting until the Kurasame effect gets up to like 5 stacks on at least the B over here, right? I'm probably going to burst it up over here. So let's go in with an LD while we still have like the maximum charges of the rainbow numbers. Yeah, and we still have 1 turn of like arrow shower left, so I'm just gonna EX for the battery and get rainbows and everything. You'll love to see it. Yeah, so they will occasionally go into these random different modes where they're like, critical bravery damage should decrease the concentration and shit like that, but I mean, it's like, they're not going to gain any bravery. You can't not do critical damage, you know what I mean? It's almost impossible to not do critical damage. And I'm just not going to be using the EX really much, if at all, because honestly, you'll do more damage just from the skills. And here comes the countdown. Oh right, yes, and we get this debuff on us as well, which I forgot about. And the debuff, this debuff is kind of nasty. Well, actually, no, this one isn't too bad. It only increases damage taken. So actually, I take it back. It's not that nasty at all. It's actually quite pleasant as far as debuffs go. All right, so let's get up Tifa, and we will get into the burst and start doing some damage. So of course, these enemies are not only double resistant to melee attacks, but they will double counter. They will counter attack every melee attack with where is it? Fucking yeah, counter unload. Counters melee bravery attacks. KO's target guaranteed hit. So basically, you get like a LUFENIA orb death every time you hit them with a melee attack. Now, call abilities are exempt from this for obvious reasons, but you generally do not want to bring a melee character to this stage if you're not suicidal and you want to actually be able to complete the damn thing. So you have been forewarned. Do not bring your melee characters here, this is not the place for them. So we've got more acid shit going on. Love to see it. You know what? We've still got some rainbows. Let's LD. Ooh, that looks like a launch. I don't mind if I do. I do love myself a Vaan launch. And that over there too. But I ain't gonna do that this time. For what I am hoping are obvious reasons. Let me just plop this over here. Ooh, pretty low burst finish damage. As far as it goes. 4.13 million, that's not bad. I've seen better, I've seen worse. Excelente. Yeah, Vaan gets another helping of LD here, for sure. And of course, we are going to have to EX. I really want to keep A primed for a launch so that I can actually do like a good one. Like if we were in summon here, that would be so perfect. Alas, and alack, that is not the case. Let me go in on B. So we need to refresh the freeze joker like now. I was going to say pretty soon, but you know. So we get a nice juicy 0 count laser. You love to see it, and yeah, now we get the summon, which is even better. So this is actually perfection because I can go into the summon. I can use freeze joker to give us all like a lot of battery. And then I can use a skill too for the launch. So this should be like pretty much ideal. Oh yes, all the damage. 1.13 mil. Get all of those numbers. I don't see why not. Excellent. Oh, and yeah, I think I'll do one of these too. And so now you see the approach that I am taking for this fight, and where we're going with it. So I mean, the enemies really should not be a threat at this point. It's just a matter of killing them. Honestly, one of the trickiest and most annoying things about this, in my opinion, is actually keeping the orb up. So Trey is amazing for this because he's got all this off-turn damage, and he just deals constant range damage. But if you want a really strong range damage burst user, I don't really think such a thing exists. Like, Noctis is probably going to be your best bet. Because, I mean, like, even Arden is melee, right? So, yeah, let me just throw down the Firewall over here. I suppose I will refresh these debuffs. And I'll throw a red card at A, and then I'll get up some LDs again. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Just a little bit mindful of the fact that B only has one turn of freeze left. And we need to get these orbs up as well, because that is going to go down to 1. But then it's going to go up again. Yeah, but now we can use skill 1, so we should be okay. Mildly terrifying. Yes. Okay, and this is pretty much going to be it. I'm glad to see Trey being useful. I pulled for the guy and he was pretty good for like a while, but then I never really used him much after that. So I'm kind of glad to be able to dig him out of the doldrums here. You know, he almost seems like an ideal candidate for this, really. So let's get that freeze back on there, and I would honestly be a severe dumbass not to take this. Like, that just does not seem like a good idea to not do. I mean, actually, it's dead already. Rainbow Bravery for 14k, you hate to see it. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. How are you not dead, sir? He's got to be dead after the follow-up, surely. Like the freaking Firewall counter, whatever. There we go, that's what I thought. Get down and stay down, my good sir. Okay, there we go. That is going to be Crucible 2. So now we're on to the final tier, whatever it's called. Like, I don't know, is it like Repentance or something? Honestly, I can't remember half the names. Like the the edgy, like, friggin' stuff that Square seems to come out with for every game subtitle these days. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be my run-through of Tier 4 Crucible 2. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one for the final tier. Until then, take care, and goodbye.